Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, guys, I am so excited. This is definitely a first for moi, but we're going to be reviewing the new at Mcgrath. This is the Bridgerton Volume 2 collection. I didn't buy everything because this shit is freaking expensive. So you guys want to see what I got, what type of look I create, and was this worth the price point? Well, then definitely keep on watching. Alrighty guys, so I think it was like back in like November, December, Pat Mcgrath released the Bridgerton collection, which came with an eyeshadow palette, a blush and highlight palette, and like some lippies. And I ended up buying that not when it launched, but sometime after it launched. And I really ended up loving the collection. So when they announced that they're doing a volume 2, I was like, sign me up. But I also didn't realize how expensive this stuff is. So this launched like 2 weeks ago. I finally shipped and got delivered. I'm not going to start by saying this is expensive. For what it is, it's expensive. The whole collection, which is the Pat Mcgrath Labs X Bridgerton 2 Totally. For the complete season 2, it comes with the eyeshadow palette, the body shimmer, the blush palette. It comes with 7 lipsticks and eyeliner, and it cost $410. Okay, oh, that's expensive. Now the collection that I bought was the Pat Mcgrath Labs X Bridgerton 2 Eye, Cheek, and Lip Trio. That cost me $138. However, I did use the code Bridgerton10, which did save me 10%, and I used Afterpay. So that is what we have right here. We have the $60 eyeshadow palette, the $60 blush palette, and the $28 lipstick. You can imagine how I'm just like, oh, that's expensive. Okay, so if you guys don't know, Bridgerton is a very fun Gossip Girl-esque sex vibes show on Netflix. I watched the first season back in like August of 2021 when they first rolled out. I freaking loved it. It was a phenomenal show, and I didn't realize it was based upon a book series. So I kind of want to read the book series because I heard that there's way more graphic sex details in there, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. But then season 2 just released, and they launched this right around the season 2 releasing on Netflix. And let me tell you, that show, I swear to God, I'm gonna be TMI here because we're friends. I was ovulating hardcore during that show, and I was like, God damn, I've never been more, how do I word this? I've never been more hungry in my life, you know what I'm saying? I've never been more hungry in my life to maybe butter the popcorn, swirl some little itty bitties around, maybe go to the movies, you know, have a very fantastic ending, if you know what I mean. And Corey was just like, damn, this show. And I was like, no. But I was also getting really mad because they delayed it for so freaking long. Spoiler alert, I'm not trying to ruin anything, but if you're watching this now, and I am, I'm so sorry. But god damn, they took like 8 episodes to get to the movies. I don't want 2.5 hours of previews, okay? I want to watch the movie. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was getting really frustrated. But it's still a great show. All right, so right here we have the eyeshadow palette. And first off, I absolutely love the packaging. Like, it just looks so divine. It just makes you feel very bougie. And I should just wear a crown on top of my head and start speaking with an English accent. That's what I should start doing this entire video, but I'm sure I wouldn't do it justice. But this is the Pat Mcgrath Labs X Bridgerton Mothership Belle of the Ball eyeshadow palette. So let's take a look at this. I'm so excited. First off, so beautiful. And when you open it, it's so pretty. Okay, so here is the eyeshadow palette. I paid $60 for 6 shadows. What is wrong with me? I question my choices sometimes in life. I do. Okay, so here is this eyeshadow palette. God, this shade right here is just, whew. All right, let me swatch these because They are freaking beautiful. Okay, so here's a swatch of this palette right here. This is such a gorgeous shade, but it does have a little bit, but it is like a glitter topper. And I'm not a fan of glitter toppers. I love the shade that they had in the first palette, but I was also kind of like, ugh, it kind of irritated me because it just got everywhere. But it's still such a phenomenal, beautiful shade that I just am like, it's breathtaking. I can't stop looking at it. So this is the palette right here. Like I said, this does retail for $60. Oh, like I said, this does retail for $65. I do apologize for saying 60 in the beginning. This retails for $65, and there's going to be 6 shades in here. We have the Blushing Delight. This is the $60 blush palette. I swear to God, my bank should call me sometime and be like, are you okay? Okay, so let's take a look at this. First off, this is like really bougie, right? This reminds me of like back in the days when they used to have like the big powder poof and you take and go poof, poof, poof. You know what I'm talking about? Like this is what this reminds me of. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to like take it like one of these things, like little powder poof, and just hit my face with it and be like, water, I need water. Okay, this is stunning. And look at like it pops up. That is so freaking cool. Wow. I don't know what I expected. I did not expect it to like pop up like that. That is actually really cool. Okay, let me swatch these. Wow. These have a very soft texture to it. I'm not really a big fan of like luminous blushes because I do have very, very oily skin. So the last thing I want to do is put on a really luminous blush, but we could definitely make those work. At least they look kind of deep in the pan and on the finger, but when you put them on your hand, they actually swatch kind of nicely, and I'm sure I could like really take my time and buff these out to make them really beautiful. But I'm not gonna lie, this is a really beautiful blush palette. I think it's probably one of the prettiest blush palettes I ever had. It's very lightweight, so it does feel kind of cheap. Like it does. It does feel kind of cheap for being $60. It feels kind of cheap because it's super light. Like I just take this and throw it and it would just shatter, but it's also so pretty. That's so pretty. Okay, and the last thing I got was a lipstick. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of lipsticks. There's no particular reason why. I just love a glossy lip. I've always been about glossy lip. So that's why I didn't want to buy all the different shades because I know me and I'm not going to wear lipstick as much. And if I do, I'll probably put a gloss on top of it. But I have to say, this component right here is unbelievably gorgeous. Like, that is probably one of the prettiest lipsticks I have ever owned. It's just so pretty and so dainty, and I freaking love it. I got the shade Veiled Rose, which kind of looks like it'd be like definitely my shade. Let me swatch this. Oh yeah, that is such a beautiful, beautiful color. Doesn't have a smell to it at all, but I'm excited because I don't think I've ever tried any Pat McGrath's like lipsticks before, so I really don't know how the formula is. So that is the entire collection for me. I didn't buy the body shimmer because I know that I would never get a use out of the body shimmer. And I didn't buy the eyeliner because I don't really do eyeliner like that. You guys know that. And I didn't feel the need to buy 7 lipsticks when I knew I'm only going to use 1 and not all 7. Though they did have a gorgeous, like this beautiful red that I was just like, I gotta go more neutral. So I'm going to zoom you guys in. We're going to start to play with this eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to let you guys know whether these 3 products were worth $135. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna do a very simple, easy eye look today because this is definitely like calling for just a very soft, romantic vibe. Like I really wanna play with like this glitter shade right here, even though I know that this is going to annoy the hell out of me. I definitely still wanna play with it because it's absolutely beautiful. Now I kind of get to talk about the show. First off, I think my favorite character on the show is Eloise. I absolutely love her. She is like my twin. The fact that she is so against like the standards for women back then, I'm like, yes, queen. Because me and Corey were talking about it. I would get so mad watching the show. I'm going to go into this shade right here. I would get so mad watching the show because the way that like women were treated just back then, I'm just like, I mean, the fact that women were not allowed to be alone with a man, like women had to be chaperoned at all times. Otherwise, if she was alone with a man, she'd be considered tainted. And then she'd have to marry that man. Are you kidding me? I don't know if that's real standards. I don't know. This was just in the show. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Like, what the heck? I can't help but think that if I were like, time traveling, right? And I went back in that time, I probably would have been killed because I would have ran my mouth and been like, excuse me, no man's tell me what I can and cannot do. What? Like, no way. I just don't think I would have fit into that culture at all. And I just find it so crazy that women had to be chaperoned. And I guess it's also really weird is that like they did courting back then, right? Which is fine. But like what, you court somebody and then you just get married? Like, what happens if like you don't actually like the person, you know? I'm gonna go into this shade right here. Like, whatever happened to like common dating? I just could not imagine like being with my very first boyfriend and then being married to him. Like, no, it was just such a crazy time. And I get that that was what was known back then. So like people didn't know any better, right? But I definitely think I would have been one of those like little harlots that would have made out with men behind the corner to really kind of, you know, explore. Like, I would have been a little harlot at the party making out with some men in the closet for sure. I would want to like explore my options. So it's a fun show. I really do enjoy it. And I really hope they bring back season 3. But I also kind of wish that they would have like done something a little different with Lady Whistletown, because they kind of like, I don't know, blew her cover so quickly. And I just wish she would have told Eloise who she was. Like, Eloise could have freaking helped her. And why she kept that a secret is just beyond me. But I was getting so frustrated. Like, just freaking tell her. If that's your best friend, just, my God, tell her. But I will say the costumes and the design in that show, oh my God. And all the women are so beautiful. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Shonda Rhimes did such a wonderful job, which was really shocking because she's made me so mad as a Grey's Anatomy fan that I haven't watched this season at all, because I'm so over it. Like, once Alex Karev left, sorry, spoilers again, I'm so sorry, I've stopped watching the show just because it's really gone downhill, and I'm not a fan of it anymore. And I just feel like they could have been to Grey's Anatomy a long time ago, but for some reason Shonda Rhimes is just letting it drown for some reason. And I also hate the crossover events. I cannot stand the crossover events. When they do Station 19 crossover, I'm like, ugh. I roll my eyes because I don't watch Station 19. I refuse to watch it. I don't want to watch it. Don't make me watch another show to get the full story. I can't stand that. And I feel like Shonda Rhimes does this thing where she finds a couple that people fall in love with, right? And she's like, oh, everybody's loving this couple. It's a beautiful day to fuck up lives. You know, that's what she does. Anyway, I used to be such a huge Grey's Anatomy fan, but she's kind of ruined it for me. But at least she did a good job with Bridgerton. I really do enjoy that show. And I kind of want to read the books. I just honestly don't know where to start when it comes to the books. Do you guys see how much fallout's on my face? Oh my God. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Do you guys see this? This is what I mean by that shade. I could lay down glitter glue, but the shade's beautiful on its own that I don't feel like laying down glitter glue. Glitter glue. Next, we're gonna go into this beautiful shade right here, and we're just gonna lay that down. Like I said, it's a very, very easy, effortless look because this is such a soft, romantic palette that I don't do anything too overwhelming with it. So we're just gonna take it and we're just going to lightly just tap this right here, and then we're gonna softly blend it out. I should be using a packer brush, but I'm not, just because this is the first brush that I saw, and I'm just gonna use this because I really don't want it to be too harsh. If anyone has read the book series, please let me know down in the comments below what book to start with, because I just generally don't know. Whenever I go to like Target and I see the book series sitting there, I'm like, ooh, what book is number 1? Like the very beginning, because I'd want to read it in order, you know? Because now it has like spin-offs where it's like Daphne's story. I'm like, okay, but like, is this book 1? Like, just let me know so I can get the right book and actually read it in the way that it's meant to be read. And also, how true is it to this show? Because I know a lot of times Netflix does change things up. So I'm kind of curious to see like how close it is to the show. My hands are covered in this glitter stuff. My shirt is covered in this glitter stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this eye off camera. I'm going to come back with this eye already done. And then we're going to do the blush and the under eye together, followed by the lipstick. Ooh, it is pouring rain outside. Okay. So to finish off the eyes, we're going to go back into this shade right here. And we're actually going to line the waterline with it. We're going to do it very, very lightly. And I'm going to see if I can kind of buff it out with that blue. Because I feel like the blue kind of like, I don't know, enhance it just a little bit more. It is, if you guys hear rain, I think I might have said it, but it is just pouring rain outside right now. I actually really like rainy days here in Florida. I don't know why. I just feel like they're kind of like soothing. It's like one of those days where you just want to sit back, like read a nice book, or like go watch like a Netflix show. There's a new show that's out that I want to watch, but I'm gonna wait till Corey gets home. It's called The Ultimatum with Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey. And it's like where these 6 or like 7 couples have, like 6 or 7 couples. There is one person there that like wants an ultimatum because one wants to get married and like one doesn't. So they have to go into like this house and have to switch partners. I'm gonna go into this shade right here. They've like switched partners and see, is this what they really want? Like, they really want to be with the person that they came to the show with, or do they want to leave with a new person who also wants to get married just like they do? It seems very fascinating. I don't think I could ever be in a show like that because I'd be like a jealous bitch. So I want to watch it when Corey gets home because I really did like the show Love is Blind. Some parts I would get annoyed at it, but I really hope but I really think the show, the Ultimatum, sounds so fascinating. So I don't think that shade really did anything to that. I don't think so. Okay, now we're gonna go into this bougie blush. And I'm gonna go into this shade right here. I'm gonna lightly like tap my blush. I'm gonna lightly tap my brush, like very lightly. And see if I can just, ooh, place that on. Ooh, that feels like it's kind of heavy there, just a bit. Okay, so because that's super heavy, we're gonna try to diffuse that just a bit with my big powder brush from my collection bling brushes, which you guys can use code Allie to save you guys 10%. And pre-orders have all shipped out, and I know that you guys can still order them, and as soon as you guys order them, they'll start to ship out as well. So for highlight, we're gonna go into this beautiful like heart-shaped highlight right here, and we're gonna take it and we're just going to place that. Ooh, that is kind of deep. Like, it's laying on and it's giving me like a little bit of a shine, but it definitely has a glitter undertone to it. So it's not, on camera it's really pretty, but in person it definitely is a lot darker in person. I don't know. Okay, so I definitely want to, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the eyes off the camera like they're mascara and liner. I'm also going to use this highlight as an inner corner and brow bone today, and then we're going to come back and do the lips together. So now that that is all done, we're going to go in and line our lips. We're going to use the Jaclyn liner. This is in the shade Caramel Latte, and we're going to line our lips. That way we can lay down the lipstick and see how the lipstick really is. Ooh, it is coming down. So soothing though. Okay, so now that's down, we're gonna go into this lipstick right here. It's such a pretty lipstick. I really hope I like it. I hope I picked a nice color. I don't know. It's not really my color. Okay, let me zoom you guys out, guys. All right, guys, and this is the final look. I feel like the rain is just adding to the ambience of this review. So, what are my thoughts on the Pat McGrath Labs X Bridgerton Volume 2 or Season 2 collection? I have some thoughts. Okay, so first off, we have the eyeshadow palette right here. Now this retails for $65, which is really expensive for 6 shades. I will say the outside packaging is absolutely beautiful. It really does look just like the season 1 where it's like nice and blue, but this one has like a nice, you know, kind of like a tan pinky. It's really beautiful. I really do love the shades in the inside. The shades in the inside are gorgeous and they can really complement the first palette very, very well. I will say I'm just not the biggest fan of their glitter formula. It's beautiful. It definitely stands out. I would recommend using glitter glue because it does get everywhere, but it is a very, very beautiful shade. And I really do enjoy this palette. I really do like Pat McGrath's formula. They have really great formula. I just wish that this was just shimmer, like a really bright, vibrant shimmer compared to it being just like a glitter topper. It's a gorgeous palette. I don't think it's worth $65. I think that I would have been better off getting this at Sephora, probably if they had it on the Sephora sale, but I don't think it's on the Sephora website right now. And I just kind of wish I kind of waited, but I'm also not mad I have it because the collector in me is glad that I have it, but at the same time, $65 for a pretty expensive palette. It's beautiful. It's kind of overpriced. As for the blush palette, I would definitely say I really do love the component of this. It is super cute and it's so nice and bougie. I have no idea where I'm going to store this or how this is going to work in my collection, but I will say this is $60. I would never in a million years buy this again. I'm not a fan. Like, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous concept. I love the component of it, but I'm just really not a big fan of it. Like, I feel like these, since they are big blushes, they go on beautifully and they blend out so nicely. So I will say that. But the highlighter sucks. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm just not a fan of the highlighter. Like, yes, you can see it on my face. It's too deep for my complexion, 1. But 2, it has a lot of glitter fallout into it. And I can literally sit there and take a brush. The second my brush hits it, it's going to sweep away. Because it's like a baked highlighter, it's not one that's going to stand very long on my skin, especially with my oil. And it's just going to kind of go away over time. So I'm not really a big fan of that. I just wish that it was actually like a genuine, like, wet highlighter. My second time ever playing with, like, Pat McGrath highlighter formula. So I really don't know how her formulas are, this is how it is. But I would just say I would never spend $60 on this again. Personally, I wish this is something that I did pass on, just because I know I'm not going to get much of a use out of it compared to other blushes in my collection and other highlights in my collection. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. There are gorgeous blushes in here, but like this right here, just, I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I just feel like they could have done so much more with this, and yeah. As for the $28 lipstick, I absolutely love the component. It is super beautiful. There were 7 shades to choose from. I picked the shade Veiled Pink, which is going to be a mid-tone mauve pink. It looks more pinky than it does mauve. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the color, but the formula is quite nice. I'm actually really impressed with the formula. It feels like I'm wearing chapstick, and typically lipstick doesn't feel like that on me. It just kind of feels like there's something there, like something I just want to like rub off or pick off, but this just feels like I'm wearing like a lip balm. It's super hydrating, it's super creamy, and I love the way my lips feel on it. I just wish it was a little bit of a different color. There was the shade Nude Romantic 2, which is a cool neutral pink nude. There is the shade Infatuation, which is a vivid cool tone berry pink. I should have gotten this shade, which is Elson 5, which is a true blue red, which probably been my favorite. Then there's the Venetian Peach, which is light peachy nude, followed by Nelgy. No idea what to say that, but that's a neutral pink beige, followed by Entrance, which is a warm flesh rose. I will say this is probably the prettiest shade out of them. I'm not mad that I have it at all. It is $28, which is really fucking expensive for a lipstick, I'm not gonna lie. But it's actually super, super comfortable. And I can definitely see myself wearing this time and time again, but probably mixing it with like a gloss, or putting my lip liner all over my lip, or mixing it with other shades to really get the color that I'm looking for. But I'm not mad that I have it at all. So overall, I spent like $135 on this collection after like the discount and shipping. And I will say, I don't think it was worth my money. I don't. I did get on Afterpay, but I just wish that I probably just would have gotten the palette and lipstick and probably missed out on this, just because this is so expensive for what it is, and it just doesn't deliver the way that I thought that it would. It's a really beautiful collection, but I definitely think I overpaid. And I definitely think that I should have saved my money on parts of this, for sure. But lesson learned, I wanted to try it, just definitely not worth $135. Yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you do, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 4 to 5 videos a week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, Are for the Life, where you guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, a huge thank you goes to all these beautiful, wonderful Patreon members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe. Either way, just thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye! At Mcgrath. So there's a full collection. This launched, I want to say like this. So we have the Bridgerton. This is the, so right here we have a big, definitely kind of intense for blush, and I'm not the biggest fan of luminous. I'm not a big fan of like luminous blushes, just because they can get, and I'm nice and it's so nice and bougie. But maybe this is my first time. But this is like my first time really. But it's like there were 7 shades. There were seven shades to